Most Americans are repelled by the mere notion of homosexuality. The CBS News survey shows that 2 out of 3 Americans look upon homosexuals with disgust, discomfort, or fear. 1 out of 10 says hatred. A vast majority believe that homosexuality is an illness. Only 10% say it is a crime.
There are just so many things wrong with branding all homosexuals in general as immoral.
Ngayon, kung lalaki sa lalaki o babae sa babae, mas masahol pa sa hayop ang tao.
Alam niyo po, hindi ko alam kung anong pamantayan yan ang sinasabi niyang tao. Kung ang tao ay nananakit, kung ang tao ay nanyuyurak ng karapatan ng ibang tao, gugustuhin ko na po maging hayop.
Tratuing pantay-pantay ang bawat tao, anuman ang kanilang sexual orientation, anuman ang kanilang paniniwala.
Ayaw ko talaga yung mga bakla na niloloko, yung evolution.
There's this impression that LGBTs are accepted in the Philippines, but it's actually sham tolerance.
Bading na natagpo ang patay sa kanyang apartment sa Caloocan. Tadtad ng saksak ang biktima na ilang araw na palang patay.
Kahapon ng umaga, natagpuan ng bako PNP sa gilid ng expressway ang isang maleta. Nakilala ang bangkay na si Robert William Rayleigh o mas kilala bilang si Ashley Ann, isang Pinay transgender.
Following the murder of transgender woman Jennifer Lauda in the Philippines, lesbians, gays, bisexual and transgender rights groups continue to push for dialogue on issues facing their community.
We should be free in America to discriminate against homosexual behavior.
It's unnatural.
And it's wrong.
I don't want homosexuals in my tree.
Build a big, large fence, put all the lesbians in there. Do the same thing with a homosexual and have that fence electrified. In a few years, they'll die.
I hardly think that bullying is a real issue in schools.
I want you to meet a little boy named Asher Brown. He lived in Texas. He was 13 years old. And I say was in the past because he shot himself in the head last Thursday.
Billy Lucas of Greensburg, Indiana, was just 15 years old when bullying pushed him over the edge.
So let's say people who are in high school or people who are still growing up, it does some sort of emotional and psychological damage, you know.
It does. It actually reinforces the climate of stigma that we encounter because of our sexual orientation and gender identity. So it reinforces the notion that we are immoral, that being gay is wrong, that it should not be accepted or tolerated. Right. The main challenge is that we're assuming that our society is already tolerant towards homosexuality, when it's not.
How many more gay people does God have to create before we ask ourselves whether or not God actually wants them around?
Ako manggulan only girl ha, man family ha, akong kabuktuan puro lalaki. Nadirihiyang magrulo lalaki at ako aday ton ginhigtan ka hatiin, then ginsasako ka, ginbibitay ka, diri ka pwede magpaaratin sugad ini. Kay gusto niya halaba matimulo. Masakit gad nga mismo haimo panimalay makakaramdam kahin discrimination.
Actually, part na ng isang member ng LGBT ang discrimination. Sa totoo lang, ang dami kong discrimination na nararamdaman or na-encounter araw-araw. Nandyan yung tatawagin kang bakla, kawatan kusog, bakla, mauran na liwat, bayot, dampog.
I experienced na mga street na pag-insult like bayot.
I wasn't sad because I was gay. I was sad because of how society treats us.
Ang mga bagay na ito, ang mga panlalait na ito ay sadyang hindi nakakatuwa para sa amin. Sa tingin ko, tayong mga tao, wala tayong karapatang husgahan or pagsabihan ng hindi maganda ang kapwa natin tao. Dahil pantay-pantay tayo sa mata ng Diyos.
Being that way is not an option. It's what's in their biology, it's what's in their psychology. It's not what you can choose to be, it's who you really are.
Why we judge people like them? I mean, kung ipabalance natin to those people who are straight, pero nagdadrugs, nagsisira ng pamilya, nagre-rape, but to those people who are member of the LGBT, who wishes only a better improvement of our society, saan tayo mas gugusto, di ba?
Ay nag-a-adapt kita mga tao na diri kaya padakuunit ko sa nga kag-anak. Kita ito't kita ito't nasa luhaira ito ng mga bata.
Kung magpapatuloy tayo mag-discriminate ng LGBT, tayo yung malulugi because at the end of the day, walang pupuntahan kung ibubuli natin yung LGBT dahil sa pambubuli natin, hindi naman mawawala ang LGBT sa ating lipunan.
I want to live in a world where people of different races, creed, gender, would all live in unity. Despite all the differences, we are still human. We are still the same. We are all created equal. Don't you want that kind of society?
Kung ano yung nararanasan ng normal na tao, ganun din sana sa mga LGBT, sa member ng LGBT, sapagkat may karapatan din kaming mamuhay at ipakita kung ano yung gusto namin or kung ano yung nararamdaman namin.
Masaya at pagiging LGBT.
Being straight is boring. Taste the rainbow. If you see all the colors, it will be an amazing part of your life.
Bilang isang bakla, napakasaya ko kasi ang dami kong taong nakikilala. Naging macheka ako sa mga tao. Maraming multi-talented na mga LGBT. Maraming mga doktor, nurse, and artist. At kung ano-ano pa, teacher. So, ibig sabihin, marami din kaming contribution sa ating society.
People might say that it's wrong in the eyes of God, but actually, if you read the Bible, you would see that the real message of Christianity, or any scripture, any readings from any religion, the number one thing that you can really observe is to love one another.